Alright, this is a video on how to make knives, at least how I make them. Start out with a bar, high carbon steel. I usually use springs, but when you're using springs you don't know what's going on. Sometimes you get a piece with a defect in it and you might have a crack. So for the demonstration purpose I bought a good piece of steel so I don't come into any problems, so it don't get too confusing. First step, I'm going to hammer it out. Hammer out a shape, the basic shape of what I want. When you're fooling with high carbon steel, I like to use charcoal, not blacksmith coal. Blacksmith coal has sulfur in it. When the metal heats up, it absorbs whatever's around it. And I rather absorb charcoal, which is carbon, which makes the steel even better. If you use blacksmith coal, it absorbs that sulfur. It makes little holes in the metal and it causes problems. So when I fool with knives, I always use charcoal. Right now, see, I got on my hammer. I'll use the big one for now. Right now I'm just going to hammer out a certain kind of shape. Get a little bit. You don't want to heat it up too much. The more you heat it up, the more carbon you're losing. I don't like to get it too hot. I like to get a blood red, maybe a little darker, a little hotter, I mean. You don't want to get it like a bright orange. This is good. I'm not going to bore you too much with the hammering process because hammering it out is pretty simple stuff. You just basically keep hitting it until you get the shape you want. So I'm not going to have too much footage of me beating on it. Most of this footage will be surrounded how to heat treat it and how to basically make steel better steel than normal. So I'm just going to pause it right now and do a little bit more hammering on it. As you can see, I'm using the curve of the horn to actually get the shape of the knife. I'll give you a look what's going on. I don't know what's going on. And I'm just taking this little cut out, I'm just putting it on the horn and hammering it out. Pretty simple stuff. So if you want a little clip on your end of your blade, you just put it on that horn. Hammer it out. You don't want to hammer it when it cools off either, because you can cause fractures in the metal. Right now I'm just thinning out the metal to make a little handle. Hammering it on both sides and turning it over, hammering on both sides. I got hotter than I wanted. That's alright. I like to use my horn on my anvil as a fuller. see all these people go through this trouble making these swages and stuff though. You ain't gotta do all that, just use your horn. Don't need a swage block or nothing. As you can see what's going on here. Let me grab it in a better place. There we go. Just to keep you updated what's going on. I made my little hook for the end. And I'm just stretching out the metal right now for the handle. I want to show you my next step. I got a wood heater. I got a bed of charcoals in there. I'm going to put the knife in there. I'm going to heat it up. Basically what I got to do right now, because I've been beating on it with my hammer and all that, I got to normalize it, which basically means I got to make it back to what it was. After hitting it, you kind of mess it up. So I got to turn it back to the metal that it was. So I got to heat it up to about a deep, deep blood red. Some people say you gotta put a magnet on it and get it, and whenever the magnet doesn't stick to it, then that's the hardest you can. Then you quench it, and that's the hardest you can get it. Which is true for tools and stuff, but for thin knives, you don't want to get it that hard because you'll cause cracks and fractures in the blade. So I'm basically doing like the way the Japanese do it with their swords. They just heat up to a dark red, like a blood red, and after they heat it up like that, I'm gonna quench it. No, sorry, I'll take it back. I'm gonna heat it up and then I'm gonna let it cool. I'm going to take it out and let it cool in a pile of ashes, a bucket of ashes. I'm going to let it sit in there and let it cool there for all night. I'm going to see, I don't know if you can see it in there. But I got the blade right here. I got it. I like to use charcoal. A bed of charcoals because it restores the metal, even if because when you heat it and it cools, it loses its carbon in it, and basically it's turning back to iron every time you heat it and cool it off. But when you put in a bed of charcoals, when it heats up, it absorbs the carbon around it, and it kind of restores it to a certain extent. So I'm gonna let that sit there until it turns a deep red. I'm gonna take it out and put in some ashes and let it sit there through the rest of the day. Let it cool off real slow. Alright, it's the following day. Let's see what we got here. I know it's in here somewhere. There it is. I was supposed to stick it in a bucket of ashes, but I can't find it. I think somebody took it and stuck it in their garden. But what I noticed is that whenever I put my knife in the charcoal fire, the fire was dying down. And I saw that the fire wasn't getting no hotter, so I just left it in there. I kind of buried it with the ashes as the fire died down. I left it in there all night long. And basically, this makes the metal normal, but it also makes it very, very soft. So I'll show you the next step. And the metal is very soft right now. Probably about as soft as aluminum. Because the harder you get, the longer it takes to cool off. The softer the metal is. Now I'm just kind of grinding it down. I'm taking small little circles. Putting all the pressure on the blade part and kind of leaving it, putting all the pressure down on the blade and leaving it alone on the tip, so that I'm grinding more on the blade itself. I'm leaving the back of it alone. Alright, I did a little following on the edge, grinding down. I didn't grind it all the way. I just did a little bit, just to kind of help it along. Because right now the middle is soft, so I can do a lot of work on it real fast, real easy. Alright, the next step, I'm gonna take a file and more aggressive file, some more aggressive. Alright, there we go. Now I'm just making sure the top is square. Coming down, trying to smooth out them corners. I don't want nothing short. I'm just filing down the little edges right there so it's not so sharp. I just let you know what's going on. I got some peanut oil. I left it outside and it's real cold this morning, like 30 degrees or so, and it congealed. So I'm just kind of warming it up on the wood stove. Now I'm making a bed of coals again, so I can heat treat the blade. And this time I gotta make it hard. I'm gonna heat it up. I'm gonna quench it in the oil. I want the oil warm, but not cold, but not hot. If it's cold, it causes the metal to fracture. It's just too much stress. So I warm it up down to probably about 80 degrees or so. This is something kind of warm, and I'm gonna quench it. I got it in the fire right now, and I like to use a wood heater because it keeps it dark. I can see the color of the metal. I'm just kind of waiting for it to get to. It's already red. I'm waiting for it to get a little darker of a red. It's getting close too, boy. Alright, here we go. I usually use olive oil, but I'm out. So I have some peanut oil left over. Oh yeah. I have some peanut oil left over from my hides. I'm tanning them. Still kind of hot. Alright. Now it's really hard. I heated it up, dumped it in there. Now I gotta make it soft because it's so hard that it's kind of like glass now. You put a little pressure on it, it'll shatter. So I gotta soften this up. But first I gotta clean the blade up, so I just wanna give me some steel wool and clean it up. Alright, I did a little sanding down with a whetstone and some steel wool. It's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be, because all I want to do is see the colors move into the blade. The camera doesn't pick up the colors too good, so what I'm just going to tell you, whatever the camera does, it does. You want all this to be blue, the handle and the back of the blade to be a blue color, but the blade itself, the cutting part, you want it to be a yellowish color. When the colors move up, when you heat treat it, basically I'm making the metal soft right now, so it's not so hard that it shatters. You want it a yellowish color on the edge of the blade, and that's it. Everything else needs to be blue. Got a little different approach here. I got 2 fire bricks in there. It basically shapes my flames. I'm just gonna I'm just slowly running it through. Constantly looking at it. It's starting to turn blue now on the handle. I just dumped it in the water now. This camera has trouble picking up color, so all I can say is it's blue from the handle, the back of the blade. Okay, it's cool to touch now. And right here on the tips is yellow. They got a straw color. And the blade stays straight. I'm lucky. Sometimes they warp in this point. Alright, now all that's left is just to clean it up and put a handle on it. Alright, I've been having the blade soak in some paint stripper, which is actually a very strong acid. And now I got some steel wool. I got some steel wool right here. I'm just buffing it out right now. Now I get all that black stuff off the blade. Alright, I got the blade somewhat clean. I'm gonna still keep on going with it, but I'm gonna try to sharpen the blade on it. I made it just clean all that black stuff over so I could see if it had any cracks in it, and it doesn't. If it had a crack in it, I'd throw it away and start over. I'm just making small little circles. basically I'm still grinding down. Alright, it's not too bad. File it down now. Try something a little bit more aggressive. Let's see. This one right here. More or less is finished. I'll put the handle on before I get too short. I ain't cutting myself. Alright, I'll show you what I got going on here. I drilled 2 holes for a rivet, but these 2 smaller holes, I just did that to reduce the weight because the handle looks like it's gonna be heavy. I don't like mine to be perfectly balanced. I like it to be a little heavier on the end, like chopping and stuff. So the balance point is probably like about right here or so. And when I put the handle on, it's going to make it even heavier in the back. So I drill some smaller holes just to reduce the weight. Alright, what I'm going to do here, put the knife on a block of wood. Let's see what we got. Now after I have it on the block of wood, I'm just going to trace it out with a pencil. And then I'll show you the next step. But for right now, I'm going to do that. Alright, got it traced out. Alright, next step I'm doing is taking some little chisels here. I'm just basically taking out a little bit of wood so that handle can recess in it. I'm just taking this little chisel and it's slowly working it out. Alright, let's see what we got. I pre-drilled those holes. And basically got it sitting in there right now. I'm going to do it on the other side. Sandwich them together, glue them. And I'm just going to let it sit overnight, and then tomorrow I'll do something else. Alright, now I'm going to glue the handles together. I got a 2-port epoxy. Basically just pour it down. Oh. Mix it. Ooh, my stuff stinks. I'm just gonna glue these. Put the glue on the handles, basically, is all I'm gonna do. You can't put too much, but you can't put enough, so always put more than what you think you need. Alright. Let me show you what I got. I wrapped it with some toilet paper because the glue was all over the wood. I didn't want my clamp sticking to the wood. So I'm going to keep that clamped all night long. And tomorrow I'll start working on that handle. Alright, it's the following day. You see it? It's a block of wood basically is what it is right now. I'm just going to put that in vise. I got some aggressive files. I'm just going to knock down the edges. I don't really know what kind of shape of a handle I want right now, so I'm just knocking all the corners down. Until I get some kind of shape that I think I want. And you can see this with a few little strokes, and I'm already starting to work it down. It's just a little rough. I gotta sand this down and all that, but I've kind of roughed it out. Let's see. Feels pretty good. Alright, I'm going to do the final buffing with some steel wool. Alright, I think the next step I'm going to do is put the rivets in. Basically, I just got a long piece of metal. I stuck it through. I'm going to cut it and hammer it out. Hit it with the flat foot first. And once I kind of flatten it up a little bit, I take the ball peen and the hammer itself and I'm gonna hit it. Gotta sharpen the stone that's flapping down on there. Got some oil I'm gonna put on that stone. Next step is wood carving. Not wood carving, wood burning. I do wood carving, but not right now. It's a whole different thing. People have been wanting me to sign my blades and for things that I make, and I don't like to sign my name on blades and stuff because it causes a weak point, and when I heat treat it, it warps the blade and stuff. So what I'm doing is putting my initials on the butt of the handle with a wood burner, which is this formaldehyde. I'm going to put 2 M's. Alright, I'm basically right now just got some steel wool. Oh, yeah. I'm just buffing the blade right now with that steel wool. Let's go and kind of polishing it up a little bit. I don't make enough knives to buy an actual buffing machine. I only make about 2 or 3 a year, so I just buff it by hand. This stuff isn't stainless steel, it's high carbon steel. Because it's not stainless steel, it's more better of a metal because it stays sharp and but it has a dull grain to it. It doesn't have that shiny look like stainless steel. The stainless steel doesn't nearly get as sharp as high carbon steel. I'm spraying a clear coat enamel on it, on the handle. Let that dry. I'll probably do about 2 coats of that. Alright, I'm just gonna put the final razor's edge on it. Very last thing I do. Try to keep cutting myself. Put a little oil on my stone. So it's razor sharp now. I got a little bit more buffing to do with the steel wool. But basically that's how you make a knife 200 years ago, I guess. And that's the whole process. The long process. It took me about 3-4 days, I guess.